Second thing I'm going to answer is removal of the wallpaper. What's the process? And yeah, so I'm going to get into that right now. First thing you do is you scour the surface of the wallpaper, and you don't need a tool for that. Just for that, you can actually use one of these putty knives, which are good. You can just basically what you're doing is you're trying to cut into the wallpaper so that when you apply the water, it absorbs better. And a scraper like this can work as well, just scraping it all down. It saves you a little bit of time and helps the water penetrate the wallpaper layer. So first thing you do is you scour the surface, and then after that you apply warm, ideally hot water, like boiled hot water is even better, but even if it's like hot from a tap, that's bonus. And of course applying, mixing in with wallpaper solution. And there's no, at least I don't know of any particular wallpaper solution that's better than the other. I find anyone at Home Depot, Benjamin Moore, Sherwin-Williams, they pretty much all work the same. What it does is it basically helps you break down the wallpaper faster, saves you time from having to do multiple layers of removal, and it breaks it down faster for you. So what you do is you use a spray bottle, like something like a Windex bottle, put the water and the wallpaper solution in there, mix it up, spray it on the wall. You can also use one of those compression, those things you pump like that, and those compression sprayers, which work even better, but most people don't have them. So spray bottle from a Windex bottle. If you don't even have that, you can actually just literally like roll it on or put it on with a sponge, but it's a lot more work, a little more work and a little more time consuming. So that's why I recommend the other if you have the spray bottles. But as long as you can get on the wall is the most important thing. Then what you do is you let it soak for 5 to 10 minutes. And you definitely want to do it in sections. Like you don't want to do the whole wall all at once and then go back. You want to do it in sections of like maybe 10 feet. And then you spray it all, let it soak, and then you could spray the next section. And then while you're spraying that section, it's soaking. And then after you're done spraying that section, go back and then try to remove the wallpaper. So you just work in that kind of way, and rather than doing the whole room. And then, because what's going to happen if you do the whole room is it's going to dry in like 30 minutes, an hour, and then you kind of have to redo it again. So you're kind of just wasting your time and material. So doing it in sections is important. And of course the hot water, as I said before, with the solution inside it. And then in terms of peeling it off, I found that just starting at the top or anywhere, it could actually be anywhere, any corner, and then try to get it all off in one layer. If you can't, that's fine too. Just as a little more work for your end, and making sure that you remove the wallpaper from top to bottom. If it doesn't remove, like I said, it's just a little more work. It's not the end of the world. It just takes more work to have to scrape off more. And then using scrapers like this, even longer ones, this is a 3-inch one, but if you can get a longer one, like maybe 5 inches, 6 inches, is even better. You can save yourself even more time when you're going to scrape off the adhesive and all the material, the wallpaper on top of that. So that's done, and then you repeat the process. So usually the first layer is like, it's called the first layer is called the skim layer, and then below it you got the actual paper underneath it, and that requires usually 1 coat for sure. So you have to redo the process again, and then sometimes even 2 times. So that depends on how bad the wallpaper is on and how long it's been there. But at least 1 more layer you have to take off besides the skim layer, and then of course below it 1 or 2 more on top of that. And then the final layer is usually the glue, and that's kind of just the messiest part. And again, you could use this as well. Sometimes a sponge, like a scouring type sponge with a little bit of abrasion, can work as well to take the glue off, because you want to take the glue off before you prime it as well and do any plastering. Okay. And then once you've done that, you get usually a perfectly, well, try to be perfectly smooth surface in terms of removing the wallpaper. But sometimes you'll have nicks and gouges in the wall, which is very normal. And that's usually when you have to plaster and skim plaster the walls. It depends on how bad the wall is, but sometimes you might have to skim plaster the whole wall, which is a bit of a pain in the butt, and it requires a little bit of skill and elbow grease, but very necessary, because obviously you want a nice surface when you go to prime and paint it. Okay, and this is the most important part, that if you're going to get anything right, make sure you get this part right. Once it's removed, everything, the glue's removed, you've plastered the walls, you want to make sure you use an oil-based primer. You don't want to use a latex-based primer because often with wallpaper, it ignites the drywall and it traps the moisture in. And then when you go to put the final coat on, it actually bubbles the paint in terms of causing you more problems. So definitely oil primer, try to remember that. Don't use a latex primer, and hopefully that's helpful. A couple people, okay, great.